Well, here I am, brainstorming it again. I woke up this morning with an invention. I thought maybe I'd film it, see if I could develop something from it. I've been having trouble with my right thigh. No feeling it. I'm figuring things out here. How do I do this? Uh, I'm going to show you a picture of my thigh. All right, so all you old women in the nursing homes out there, don't get excited. I can't. I'm an old man anyway, so forget it. No, I'm celibate for Jesus, 25 years. But anyways, why do I always mention that? Because it's hard to do that. It's very hard to do that. Agent Orange, here I am. 75 years. How many years from Agent Orange? 56. 1970. 69. I went to Vietnam in August of 69. Man, that was a life-changing experience. You know, they don't even call a hurricane in the China Sea. They call it a typhoon. And believe me, you're up in a 70-foot wave, and there's waves higher than that. In a typhoon in the middle of the China Sea. Ooh, that is one of the roughest rides you can ever go on, especially on a flat bottom boat. We had a flat bottom. We went up the river. Machine gun fire could probably blow us up. We got too close to the shoreline. We had another sister ship. It was the White Plains. I was the Clarion River. The White Plains. You can look at these ships up on the internet. Well, White Plains sat down in the water 4 feet deeper than us. Why? Because it had armor plating on it. You know, hand grenade couldn't blow it up. Hand grenade could have blown us up. And it almost killed me. Almost, man. If it hadn't have been for the A-frame in front of my head when the hand grenade went off, I'd be a dead man right now talking. I'm not. Oh, God. You know, God is kind to me and nice to me a lot. I say, why, God? I was a sinner. You know, I was the worst of the sinners, too, God. I'm talking about my teenage life. I was a maniac. I had an operation in the hospital, and the day they let me out, I was walking the street looking for, you know what? A honey bunny. Can you imagine that? That was the drive I had when I was a teenager. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Luckily, I met my wife when I was 15. We went together quite a while, too, 4.5 years. Fell in love. I bonded. I got married before I went over to Vietnam in case something happened. She'd be taken care of because I loved her, you know, so I married her. I should have married her before I went into the service. Then I would have never been stationed in Vietnam. But because I was single and dumb, because they had me pegged as being a dummy. Why? Because I was sleep deprivation. I've got narcolepsy. I fall asleep unexpectedly, especially if I'm real tired. If I'm real tired and I don't take something like a modafinil or something like that to keep me up, I'll fall asleep at a red light if I forget to take my medications, which is on very rarely. I always check, what did I do? Did I take this? Did I do that? Did I brush my teeth? Did I comb my hair? Like right now. You say, he's, looks like he's not puffy or anything with his hair. Why? Because I'm soaking in my secret right now. I've been soaking in it for 3 days. Today's the day I take the shower to get it out of me. And everybody, I haven't put anything on. I haven't washed my face or anything. I just got up. I got most of my teeth. This one here just broke off and fell. It wasn't a cavity in it or anything. We think it might be Agent Orange related. Teeth just busting off in your mouth when you're 75. Or maybe it's a norm, I don't know. But that's what's happening to me. It's like this morning, my Parkinson's is back. Okay, my Parkinson's is back this morning. I'm sitting here with both hands. I don't know why the camera's not shaking. Let's see if I just let the camera shake. That's my hand holding on the camera. So the other day, my Parkinson's was gone. This morning, I go and I come, I go and I come. It's like one day I'm in a wheelchair, next day I'm in a walker, next day I got a cane. The next day I'm out on my bare feet, walking around, looking to climb a ladder, fix a roof or something. 75. Can't hire anybody. Come in here and they steal you blind. I got stolen for over, how many thousands? $13,000 total. All the people stealing from me. Can't hire anybody. You can't have anybody come in. You got to watch them like a hawk. Slip something in their bag that they're working on your yard or something like that. I had a landscaper in here working on my yard a couple of years ago. He took me for $7,000. He ripped me off for cash. He gave me a sob story that his son had died. And he doesn't have any regard for God. I should have told him to hit the road right then and there. But I was pissing puppy dog. Oh, I'll show him God's love. I'll help him out and stuff. So I paid him up front. He looked both ways. He was gone with my money. I learned my lesson there, didn't I? I'm pissing puppy dogs. Can't buy brotherhood, people. You get took every time, even by your own brother. So, all you can do is hope for an apology. But who's going to, at that age, my age now, who's going to apologize? Who's going to be, oh, well, geez, I'm sorry. I did have one person do that. And he was close to me. He was my brother Michael. He flew off the handle with me. And I've been just trying to help him out, man, stuff like that. And he apologized. Called me up and said, I'm sorry, this and that. Okay, Mike, I understand that. You're in the hospital. You got trigeminal neuralgia. You're taking this cazimazepine, and your legs are swelling up as big as elephants because of it, because you're allergic to it. I keep on telling him, don't take that medication, but he's hooked on it. He can't get off of it. He needs 4 pills every time he takes it, or he'll go into madman's disease. He's got trigeminal neuralgia. Comes from your jaw to your temple. It's like electric shock. That's how he is when he gets his attacks. I've seen him. He did one. One time I was talking to him on the phone. He got one. Just like me and my shaking this morning. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. Oh, I've been healed, I said the other day. Oh, God's healed me. God. That's not too bad. I don't know. It goes in spurt, like, okay, and then now, like right now, I can't. That's me. That is me. That's me. 100% me right there. This morning. That's how I get in the morning. Until I gotta take my drugs and stuff. And what kind of drugs? Nothing narcotic. I took, some type of it. Aspirin. Not aspirin. I don't know. Some sort. Took 2 of them this morning. 2 Tylenols. I got up feeling jittery. Well, the whole reason why I was making this movie, this video, is to just show you my discovery and how I'm treating it. Now, I have 2 4-year degrees and 1 2-year degree. My 2-year degree was in medicine. I wanted to be a occupational therapist for a football team or something like that. Make good money and everything. Getting all the football players. I'm rugged. I hit the heavy bag. I'd have a heavy bag down there. I'd be showing them all how to fight. I'd have a bunch of buddies. That's what I was going to do. God said, no, I ain't going to do that. I'm going to do something else. Yeah. Lately, he's been lowering my voice. I had a higher voice than this. I don't know if you can sense it or not, or I've seen it in my old videos or what. But now, and if I concentrate on it, I have this voice. This is my voice. And it's irritating to people. Because when I go in and I'm around people and everything, I talk like I talk when I teach school. And everybody says to me, would you lower your voice, sir? Please lower your voice. And threaten to kick you out of the building if you don't. And all I'm doing is talking regular voices like I'm talking to you right now. But that's too loud for people that want to show their power. Jeepers, I went up to the post office lady in the post office, United States Post Office. There. And there was a thing about mailing my mail, $37, so it'll go out to California. I says, the stuff that's in it isn't worth $37. Jeepers. I bought it for less than that. But anyways, I had to pay it. I had to get it out there. I had to pay, what was one of them? I get this accurate now. One was partial post. And I paid around $13, somewhere around there. $37. That's what it was. $37 to send my brother a hat that weighed nothing. I sent him a hat, but the box was big. Oh, $37? $37? What happened to airmail stamps and stuff? They laughed because that's how old I am. They laugh at you. Airmail? We haven't called partial post or whatever it is airmail since the 60s or 70s. I don't know. I don't know what they call everything now. I'm antiquated now. My degree is antiquated, but I have the background. I can sit down and figure things out, and that's what I'm trying to do this morning. Is trying to show you how I'm occupational therapy that I was, almost. I mean, I'm way over that because I took all the courses and everything, but I got 2 4-year degrees. That was a 2-year degree. So I got 2 4-year degrees. I got a 2-year degree from that college, St. Petersburg Junior College in Clearwater, Florida. I got a 2-year degree from there. I didn't even graduate. I left before I graduated. But when I went to the other school, I called back because I was on the honor roll in the other school I went to. I called back and I says, "Oh, can I transfer some credit hours down there, get my A degree?" "Well, sure you can, up to 45 or something like that." It was. I says, "Really?" Because I was only a few courses short and I left. Everybody's anticipating me graduating because I was a ninth grade dropout and they rehabilitated me with that quadratic equation stuff, formulas and all that. I learned that. I don't know it now. I forgot it. I mean, if I sat down, it would come right back. I'm sure if I went through the regiment of, you know, it's by week. You work the quadratic formula by week until 16 weeks go by. And in the 16 weeks, you know how to operate and how to use the quadratic equation. And they looked at me and they looked me over and they said, "Well, if you can learn the quadratic equation, the formula, we'll consider you educable. And you take some other courses like for your English, writing courses and stuff, prep courses. Take those. You get satisfactory in that." They didn't give you a mark. It was failing or satisfactory. It was up to them because they're the ones taking the risk. You're going to try to get a 2-year degree and you don't even have a high school education. So they got to give you a GED and they got to make it convincing that GED you got in 16 weeks was worth it. And you have proof. You learned the quadratic formula. That's proof. And all you got was an S, satisfactory. You didn't get, "I learned the quadratic formula, an A plus," or it was just a satisfactory. That's how they did it down there. It was up to their judgment. You could have been low scored, but they saw other skills in you that you're going to develop and stuff, and that you will develop into it eventually. Now, if I become a millionaire, I don't need anybody to write things about me. I'll just tell them what to do. I don't need to know how to read and write if I'm a millionaire. It makes you think, don't it? You get all these human beings that have inherited their money. Do they even know how to read and write? Do they care? They just go out and spend, and half of them don't even make it to 50. I know one guy that my brother Mike was a bodyguard to. He got $40,000 allotment check a month because he was a multi-millionaire, son of a multi-millionaire. I mean, like a 70 million or something like that. And he had all of his children on this. They get so much a month. And his life was so fast. He was waiting at the end of the month for another check so he could go out again. Imagine that. Imagine the bar bills this guy paid every night. Because that's where he hung out, bars. He didn't live long. He lived about 40 years old. He was a good actor, too. Well-known actor. I knew him. I talked to him on the phone. I didn't meet him personally, but my brother lived with him because he was his bodyguard. He paid him so much. Gave him shelter. Get to hang out with the millionaires, Here comes Mike Nixon, He has a protection agency. And they hired him. These people were producers. Yeah. Film producers. Millionaire. Millions of dollars. My brother was a bodyguard to their son, who lived to be 40 and then somehow Mike wasn't getting paid anymore. So he says, well, it's time to leave. I guess he was always on their case, keeping them in line. I'm going to get him out of here. I'm sick and tired of him telling me, get up and let's run and this and that. I don't want to do that anymore. He's 40 years old now. I don't give a shit about that. I ain't going to live to 60 anyways. Because he knows he's going to burn out. And he ain't going to live to 41 is what happened. All that money every month. Imagine that, getting a check for 40K a month. And at the end of the month, you're waiting for the other check to come. Because you used it all. Drinking. Womanizing. He liked Orientals. This one guy that I'm talking about. Could be any movie star out in California, though. I knew some movie stars out there. I met them, shook hands with them, because I was going to be a movie star. I decided, I'm going to be a movie star. I said. So I got Vic Weiss, who was in charge. I'm Chinese right now, but anyways, I got Vic Weiss, who was in charge of Hollywood. Period. Everybody, even Lucille Ball, came and bowed to him, right? And he was my backer. He said, "Yeah, I want Nixon. Mike Nixon's brother. Oh, okay, I'll take his contract." I never signed a contract with him. He kept it. He's watching me as an amateur. He wanted to see before he signed any contracts if I had the heart, what am I going to do, And I had to borrow money off of him and everything. He said to me before he was found dead in the back of his Lincoln Continental with 2 bullets in his head. He said to me before that happened to him. I called him up and talked to him. And I said, I sent you back the money that I borrowed from you. Because I took off. I got out of there, I didn't want to be somebody's head at the bottom of a bed some night. Because that's how deep down, when you got money, they come right in and take it. This is my business now. Get out of here. And if you don't leave, poof, poof, you're done. That's the way it is, man. And I'm telling it all before I die. It's like, I'm Sicilian. I'm a Sicilian. My brother's a Sicilian. Sicilian. Napolitano. The mountain lion. Our name is Monteleone. Monteleone. And we live to be in our 70s. And we can still kick ass. You like that side of me? I don't ever do that. I acted that out. Am I a good actor? Sylvester, you missed me. Too bad. We could have been good friends. I'm very religious. Very. Everything in my house says Jesus. Want to see? Watch. Make the screen bigger. I get up in the morning. I say, hi, Jesus. Hi, Mom. Mother. That's our Holy Queen. The Queen of Heaven and Earth is Jesus' mother. Everyone. All you non-Catholics that don't think Blessed Mother has any... She was just a vehicle. I've heard other faiths say, oh, she was just a vehicle. She's not important. You can't pray to her. She can't answer prayer. Oh, yeah? I have several occasions that I can say she answers prayer. Like right now, she's answering prayer. I want to get through to people who she is, the Queen of Heaven, people. Jesus' mother. Back in the olden days, way back in the Old Testament, kings had several wives. Which one were the queen? Or is the queen? It wasn't that way back then. The king's mother is the queen. That's the way it was, and that's the way Jesus did it. He's the king, and his mother is the queen of heaven and earth. That is the story, people. As you notice, I considered the Protestants when I made this. I took the corpse off the crucifix because Jesus is risen, but there's still a need to know the passion of Christ because we're not in heaven yet, people. We're trying to get there. And that's why on my chest, it wants to give you a difficult time, don't it? I'm well rehearsed. Right? I have the crucified Christ. Why do I have a crucified Christ on my crucifix? He's risen from the dead. Why are you thinking about him dying on a cross? Because it was his death on a cross that paid the bill. A bill he didn't owe, people. You remember being in a restaurant and you got family with you and all that, that ticket's going to be $100, right? Or more. Back in my day, that is. Now, it's just you and your wife for $100. Or maybe, well, you can pick up a tab for close to $100 for people in a good restaurant nowadays. And now I'm not talking about exquisite restaurants. I'm talking about just the mediocre, higher class restaurants. It costs you around $35 per person. $40 some places. I know I go to the Olive Garden, it costs me $50. $25 a piece. What I get. It's what I get. It's $50 every time I walk in the Olive Garden. Which is rare. I don't frequent the Olive Garden. I mean, if I wanted to, I could, because they have a salad and a soup and salad during the day before 4 o'clock or something like that. I don't know if they still have it or not. But I used to go to that. That was only $7. Imagine all the salad you want. All Olive Garden salad. Now they got a salad. You know what the only thing they don't have? Olives. I mean, they have black olives in their salad. But if I said, sir, could I have a variety of olives on a platter, please? I doubt they could come up with one. In fact, I've asked one time. I says, this is Olive Garden, right? Could I have a platter of olives? Different types and all that? Oh, no, we don't. We only have black olives or put them in salad and stuff. And yet they have other dishes with olives in it. I don't know why they didn't give me what I wanted, but I didn't get it. I went to the Olive Garden, ordered a platter of olives, and they don't have olives at the Olive Garden. They don't have a platter of olives. Olive Garden. They should. I get the platter. I try it one time at least. 100,000 people trying it at one time, and it's $15 for an olive platter. People are going to buy it as a appetizer. Oh, bring the olive platter in, please. And you have other things on the olive platter. You might have celery, nice crisp, crunchy celery with some olives. And then in the center, you can have a little dip. You can have crackers around that as a dish. It's served to the 4 people that are sitting at the table. You have that. And you can do that at Olive Garden. You can order that. You know, they're moderately priced. They're higher than other restaurants, but their food is good. And they have good service, too. And there's good parking on both sides of the building. Short little walk. This is called long COVID. I had COVID a year ago. December the 8th was a year ago. December the 8th is the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. And that's when I was delivered from COVID. I wasn't harmed. But God says, okay, he made it through COVID. Okay. Well, if you're going to use him, we got to lower his voice. Because if I send people and he has to talk with authority, he's got to have a voice that is authoritative. Authoritative. Did I make that word up? I got 240 degrees. I can make words up if I want. It's my video. It's my football. It's my yard. We'll play by my rules. Territorian. Is that in the dictionary? A territorian. Well, anyways, let's... You can tell my medicine's kicking in, can't you? Oh, it is. I do get feeling better. My moving around isn't as hurtful as it looks, as I make it look. Because it's good pain when I move around. I asked God, I says, now, God, I got to have pain, right? Okay, all right. Do I get to distinguish if it's good pain or bad pain? And he said, Bill, no one's ever asked me that before. The Holy Spirit is, they have a lot of fun. Holy Spirit is an entity of itself because it's the love between the Father and the Son, and it became a created spirit. God created a spirit from the love between the Father and the Son. He created a Holy Spirit that is an entity all of its own. That's what the triune Trinity is, people. The Father, the Son, whom God is well pleased in, and Jesus says, I must rise to the Father, who is greater than I. But yet, God, being so omnipotent, can't be seen by a pea-brain pollywog like us. That's all we were. Little pollywogs going up a stream. We jumped into a nest and we grew arms and legs and eyes and everything. And now we scooted into life and we grew arms and legs and we grew up. And now, instead of a pollywog, we're bullfrogs. Ribbit. No, is Red Skelton that good? Come on now. Red Skelton. Oh, there's a joke about I can't tell it. Because I can't tell the joke for Red Skelton. He was one of the funniest comedians I can remember because I was in that age. Red Skelton age. We've died out. Probably people have never even heard of him. I don't see any of his movies. Of course, I don't watch television. He might have a lot. Red Skeleton Show or something like that. I don't know. I never looked for it. But he had Gertrude and Heathcliff. Gertrude, and he'd spit in his hands and he'd make his hair go one way and one the other. And he'd be Heathcliff, and the other one would be Gertrude, and he'd have it puffed up hair, So when Heathcliff talked, he had his hair one way and everything split in half, Yeah, and then when he went into Gertrude, he puffed his hair up, and he would make you roll on the floor. Yeah, at least me, I did. My dad too. My dad loved the guy, My dad was a jokester. In fact, he was a undercover professional comedian in California. He never bragged about it. He never bragged he was a showman. I didn't want anybody coming in the family and watching him, because that was his environment, man. He had things going, and he didn't want anybody to see in his family, so he didn't tell anybody what he did. But he was hired by a millionaires club for his joke talent. They give him a few drinks, and he would have everybody rolling on the floor, just telling jokes. He wasn't that type of guy that came in and insulted your integrity and stuff. He had 500 or so jokes he had memorized. My dad was a smart man. He sat in a chair at night with a bowl of ice cream and read a novel, a Western, a whole book. I have trouble still now to this day reading a couple paragraphs and I get tired because I have ocular tracking. Poor eye. I have this eye now is half blind. I get a big blotch when I look at the word. Like, say, if I had a word that said, America is great. America, AMER, or something like that, you wouldn't be able to see. But I could see the rest of it with this eye. Isn't that weird? Because I got a blotch. They said it's a cataract, and that I have to have it removed. They have these drops they put in your eye and dissolve it now. But it has to be under strict supervision and all this other stuff. I don't know how they do it. It's an operation. I don't know what the chances are. You could go blind or not. But man, get that cataract off there because I can't see with my dominant eye. This is my dominant eye. You know what's strange is that now when I do the thumb thing with both fingers, like right now, let me see. I'll see if I can do it with you. You tell me what it is, Okay, I'm going to put both fingers on with both of my eyes. I'm looking at the red dot over my phone, and I've got my thumb out with both eyes. Now, can you guys tell me what eye I am? What eye am I? Boy, that's hard to do. Keeping your arms up like that. Boy, I'm getting old. My right eye took over as a dominant eye now because this one can only see half. So when I put my thumb on something, like, let's see, like my eyes. I'm looking at my nose right now with both eyes open. See? Is it on? Boy, this is weird. It's off. It's on. It's off. My left eye still wants to be the dominant eye. But the other day, I was doing it with a regular circle type thing, where you look through. You look through on an object, and you look through the circle with both eyes. your dominant eye will take over. You don't realize it, but until you realize what eye is the circle still on. When you close one, the circle will be off of it. When you close the other one, the circle will be right on it. And that's the eye. That is your dominant eye. See? Where the circle's right on it with one eye closed. With the other eye open. Like right now, I have a dominant. This here, and I'm Chinese, whether you guys know it or not. I have the Chinese gene in my family. My Sicilians, we have integrated with every race just about. We were the stopping off point for all the crews, all the sailors. It was shore leave, and they were Mediterranean on boats and stuff. They would stop in Sicily. That was a stop-off point. They would make next stop Sicily, and then everybody would be, oh, I hope she's there. And everybody's going, oh, I hope she's there too. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know where I'm going. They got it all planned out where they're going, if they get to Sicily. And that's the way they made money, it seems, in Sicily. I mean, other ways. I mean, they had their honor and everything too, but street corner honey in Sicily was a way to make money because they paid in gold because back then there wasn't any universal cash. And you got to pay for hotels if you're going to go on shore leave, or you're going to go back to the ship at night, sleep. That's probably what they did. But if they got drunk and stuff, captains tell them, don't come back to the ship if you're drunk. We don't want you puking all over the place. Stay on the shore. That's what I would tell them. Good God, you get down. I've seen people be good 1 minute, and then the next minute it hits them, and they're puking all over the place. Nobody will let them get on a bus or anything, man. They just get away from us. Get away from us. Good God, you're puking all over the place. Oh, my God. Those were the days I can remember, my early 20s. I went out, the reason why, because I went out with this guy. And he's going to show me Mexico. I said, okay. He said, yeah, we'll get down here. Oh, man, I'll show you. I'll show you everything. This is my town, man. I said, okay. So we get down there, and the first thing he does is pop a red little pill. I don't know what the hell they are. And he was groggy and all that stuff a little bit. But he drank with it. And that's where he got his groove on. And he got so drunk, sloppy drunk, they wanted to arrest him. And I was with him, And I had, $5 on me? So I said to the cop, he's going to arrest him. He's drunk, disorderly. I got to arrest him. I said to the cop, man, oh, man, let us go. Let us go. Come on, man. Well, here, I'll give you everything I got. I'll pay the bill right now. Any damage or anything like that, if we did any, here's all the money I got. I give him $5 and he let us go. In Mexico, that is. So the cop let us go. I said, that's all I got, man. I'm just a two-striper. I don't make much money. That's all I got, man. He let us go. Took the money. Let us go. So we get to the bus, and it hasn't hit me yet, see? Because I'm cooking, I'm doing all right. I got him out of the jam. So we hit the bus, right? And he's okay. By the time we get to the bus, he's okay, right? And I get hit, puking. Bleh, bleh. So I got him off, and I'm the one that gets thrown in the clink overnight because of drunk and disorderly coming out of Mexico. I went with him. It's who you hang out with, people. You are a product of your environment. If you hang out with that type of person, you're going to end up like him. Your common sense, as long as you had it, got him out of his problem, but he didn't have the common sense or the decency to try to get you out of it somehow. He didn't pay you back. He just took. They're the takers. They take and take and take and don't give nothing back. Not even regard. They look at you as nincompoop. He don't deserve to have any money. I'll take it all. He's too stupid. Yeah. Well, that's the way the people think about me. I help them out. And it's a sacrifice, too. Because if it don't hurt when you give, then you ain't giving enough. I mean, you could be the widow's mite or whatever it is, that story. Here's a guy, a millionaire, comes in and he flips the guy $100 bill. And then the widow comes in and she's got 20 cents in her pocket. She's going to buy a stale loaf of bread or something like that on the way home. And she sees a person in need. She gives him half the money, 10 cents. Now, what would God think of that? Which one would he do? The multimillionaire who flipped somebody a $100 bill? Or the widow that only had 20 cents in her pocket? She was going to buy a stale loaf of bread to eat. But she saw somebody else in need and gave them half of her money. Some old ladies would give them all and they fast. There are some beautiful women in this world. They're all old in nursing homes and forgotten because we didn't chastise our children. They don't hang out, tend us. And the ones that did, they're benefited by it in their old age because, oh, you had to stop and see Mom. We stop this week and see Mom. Oh, I'll call her tonight. Keep it up, Don't just say, like the generation is nowadays. Well, there's reasons, too, why you can't do all that, because you get sick. You don't feel like doing it. I ain't going to see Mom. I'm sick. You want to go in there and infect everybody in the whole building there? Everybody that's in the hospital, you can go in there, you're sick. You better stay home. They don't want to see you there. It's like a coffin drunk. They want to see the drunk his whole life when he was younger because he tipped real good, $20 bill or something like that. Oh, here he is. Oh, good. But then when he gets old and he's been smoking and drinking and he starts coughing and choking all day long, the guy says, well, that $20 he's going to leave ain't worth it, man. And they kick you out of the place. We don't want you around here if you're going to be coughing and choking like that all the time. It chases the people away. As soon as they come in, they hear it, they all leave. You just sit here and watch. We want you to leave. After he spent his whole life there just about. His own bar. He had his own chair and everything, where he sat all the time. I mean, when you went into the bar, you knew right where he'd be sitting. That was his kingdom. He was, oh, come over here, I'll buy you a drink. Sit down and talk to you and buy you a couple drinks. Get you feeling pretty good. And then get up and move on. Oh, I gotta go. I'll be back. I gotta go over and see this guy. After he's had his time. He knew how to maneuver around the bar. Just sit and spend time with one person all day long. When you're saying, what the heck are they guys? Oh, that's his nephew. That's his nephew. Hasn't seen him for a long time. They're having a few drinks together. That was my uncle I'm talking about. That's what his environment was, his bar. And he was he was in charge. He worked for Lynx. He was inventory. He was the director of the inventory department. The stuff that comes in that they make stuff out of. Stuff. That was his job to order it. So that was an important position. My uncles were smart. My dad was an 8th grader dropout. But he could read a novel in one night. Because of my ocular tracking problems I get tired real quick. 15 minutes and I get tired, you know, ocular tracking. I don't know, this is my squint. This is me, you know, I'm Chinese. Can you tell? I'm Chinese. I got Chinese in me. I've worked with Chinese people. They said, they look me over real good. They look at me and they go, yeah, you're Chinese. You got some Chinese in you. How did you get that? And I said, I don't know. There's a sneaky little Chinaman in Sicily, I think. And I got his gene. Here they are. I got Chinese eyes. I said, I kid around with everybody, you know. I tell everybody, you know, I'm actually Americanese. They go, Americanese, really? Oh yeah. And I'm gonna get into what I invented. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm an Americanese. How are you Americanese? Well, here, I'll show you. What do we got here? Oh, how does this thing? Oh, it's big, isn't it? I forgot. I made the picture big. Well, here you go. There's a knee, and there's another knee. Those are two knees, and I'm an American, so I have American knees. So there it is. There's the proof right there, people. I am American. Knees. There you go. Now that leads me into what I'm going to go into. Right here. This leg right here. All right. Let me see if I can get it. I want to show you what it is. Okay, I want to show you how this leg is. Because you'll be able to see. Now, right here, I can feel that. I can feel that. I can feel that. I can feel that. Look at this. I can't feel that. I can't feel that right there. Oh, now I can feel it. It's right here. It's right in here. Right in this area right here, right? So how am I going to get feeling in that area? Because I got thorns. I'm pricking myself. I can't feel it, right? So how do I get feeling in that area? Here's how I do it, people. I invented this. You tell me what it is. I'm making a document of this because this is my invention. And here it is, the documented film for my patent. I get up to 1 year, but nobody can steal this from me. And if they want to, they can do it. I'll sell it for a water well in Kenya. You put a water well in Kenya, and I'll sell you the rights to this. Now watch. I don't have any feeling in this right here, right? Okay, I've established that, right? Now watch. Now I have. Oh my God, I got so much feeling right there. Oh my goodness. And you can't do it long. It's just brief therapy. Now, I can feel my hand. My thigh can feel. I I did it right in front of everybody, people. That's my invention. Everybody can make one. The Holy Spirit wants to give this as a gift for people who have numbness in their body. All you do is you go to the store and you buy speedy skews, right? And you get a piece of oak or something, shape it. Shape it. This is an old screwdriver that has a four prong. You can stick it in. It's the bit. It takes bits. So I took the bit out and I put these rods in it. All right. Now these rods, I'm going to put black tape around them. I think to hold them in place, because you could shape this whatever you want. These are all bendable and everything. But I have the round circles at the top. Ooh, excuse me, I'm an amateur, people. I'm an amateur. Who knows, maybe somebody's all psyched up about this. Say, hey man, I want that patent. I want that product. I want to put that on the market. We could make some money with that. Oh, you bet you could. Look at this. The Holy Spirit showed me this. Oh, man. I got feeling in this thigh. It's just a matter of, you can do this for 10 minutes. And man, all the nerves are waking up that have been sleeping. That I was pricking this area with those wooden spikes that I use for shish kebabs. So I took steel shish kebabs. How many of them? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it 6? 3 and 3, yeah. So I have 6 of them and I put the curved end at the top, and the point goes in the hole. Now, this doesn't have to be one of these handles that you use with screwdrivers and stuff, but this is good. If you want to make one quick at your house and you want to try this out, yeah, just if it works for you and you have some money and you donate it sometimes, donate it to water wells in Kenya. Father James Kariuki. 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 He has a foundation in N George. N, a capital N, then a Jorge. N George, Kenya. That's where he is located. Somewhere down around there. I haven't been there. I've spoken to him a few times. And he says, Billy, we have all the kids down here praying the rosary for you. You come through with a water well, some donations. There's other things that need to be done around here. And I says, well, right now, Father, I want to just concentrate on water wells. So I'm going to try to get a water well down there. Anybody sees this film? This is here. I'll show you what this is right here. That's St. Michael. That's St. Michael. And I put wings around him to enlarge him. And I put the Sacred Heart of Jesus as a Eucharist in his hand. His hands, he's flying out into the universe with the Sacred Heart of Jesus. He is the guardian angel of Jesus and his mother. There's the Black Madonna and the Black Child. which I am black. I have black in me. I didn't know that my whole life, really, until I started doing research, and AI even told me. He says, "Yeah, oh yeah, you have a black connection if you're Sicilian." This is what North America, North Africa. That's the black connection. My mother was dark, dark black hair, dark eyes, dark eyebrows, everything dark, deep dark. She was a Sicilian. Napoli Don, her father, was from Sicily, Italiano. His name was Monteleone, the mountain lion. That's what that means in Italian. So I am the grandson of a mountain lion, Monteleone. It goes back. There's lots of guitar makers and stuff with that name, Monteleone name. They're supposed to be related. I mean, Monteleone, Monteleone. Well, some of you, oh, I want that name. So they take it, and that's what they call themselves? I don't know. Is that what they did back in the old days? But Monteleone, that was an Italian name, and it meant caped warrior, the mountain lion, caped warrior. That's what I have. That's my bloodline. And I am devoted to the Holy Queen. And now that I know I'm black, the Black Madonna, man. Blessed Mother can appear any way she wants to. She wants to appear as being black, and she's the Black Madonna. She can appear that. Because God gives her whatever she wants. And what would that be called? By location, right? By location. Like you can come and be seen as a black man or a white man. Or how do people walk the earth without being noticed that they're not from Earth? I've talked sometimes to people that they talk to you and they're so far above you intellectually and everything, just their demeanor and everything, you know they're not a Binghamtonian. Hey man, I'll meet you at the bar tonight. I'll buy you a drink. How much are they over there? Oh, 15 cents a draft? Okay. Yeah, well, we can spend the whole night there. I got $1.50 on me. We can buy 15. Wow. We can buy 10 drafts with $1.50. 15 cents a draft. That'd be 5 drafts for you. 5 drafts. That's enough to get feeling pretty good. Get on home. Get up next day and go work the day. I'll see you back here tomorrow. You got friends like that, Want to play euchre? That was my dad. He was a brain. All the guys that were thinkers played euchre. And there were some deep conversations. And everything was talked about. That was my dad's meeting place, the bar. That's where he met all of his friends. He sold all of his cars. He spent a lot of time there. More time there sometimes than he spent with his family. And he wasn't a religious man. I mean, he brought us up respectfully. He was an MP in the Marines, man. He obeyed. He locked the door on you when you got in jail. He looked at you like, oh, you looking for a friend? You ain't going to find one here. Don't even think about it. Because you're here, and you're here until your time is up, and you aren't going to like your time because I'm going to make it miserable for you.
So you don't want to come back again. That was my dad. Yeah. Because that's the way he brought me up. I'm telling you like it is, man. Sweep that sidewalk. I swept the sidewalk. I thought I did a good job. He came out and gave me a beating with a stick because he said, I told you to sweep the sidewalk. And look what you did. That's a lousy looking job. And I'm looking at it, I said, man, I thought I swept that pretty good, you know. But he was just beating me to beat me. Because if you don't chastise your children, that day and age, you don't chastise your children, they'll grow up to your disgrace. And I respected my father until the day he died. Nowadays, you get these kids, I was a school teacher, and they were disruptive and all that stuff and hard to control and were very defiant and all that other stuff. Bossed everybody around. So I says, you want to play baseball tonight? Because he was on the baseball team, you know. He was looking forward to it. Getting up, hitting the ball. He was a good baseball player. I says, well, you can't play unless you bring your dad. I wanted to see who his dad was. Because this guy was just one little wise guy, you know. And so he says, well, he showed up with his dad. And his dad was a little wimp. And just a little guy. And he's wimpy. And, you know, the kid just told dad, you know, do this and do that, you know, while he was right in front of me. He's telling his dad like he's the dad. Instead of his dad being the dad, he's being the dad to his dad. There's kind of kids like that, you know. There's kids like that. They control everything. Because they got wimpy parents. They don't believe in chastising anybody. Heck, I know my uncle was 4'10" or something like that, right? Not even 5 foot. Maybe he was 5 foot. But he whipped his kids. He had 8 kids. And he whipped every one of them. Put them in line until it was the girls, though. He didn't do it. And then there was a couple there that, he had a couple that, well, one that had a problem with dyslexic or something like that. I think. He outgrew it, maybe. I don't know. But my uncle just passed on. And he was, don't hug me. Why don't you hug me? In his mid, like I was like 30, so he would have been 20, a little bit, 18 years older than me. I was 30, he would have been 58. Don't hug me. You know, at somebody's funeral, we were at somebody's funeral, you know. I'm going around hugging all my uncles and all that. And I get to him, he goes, don't hug me. So, you know, he's a little guy, but man, he was a feisty guy. I heard he was a fighter in his day. He got in the ring with Tommy Holmes. Tommy Holmes was, in his day, was one tough dude. Little Tommy, he lived to be 80s. He ran from Binghamton to Owego. He ran, that's 20 miles. You'd see him on the side of the highway. Where are you running to today, Tommy? Oh, I'm going to run up here to Oxford and back. You know, Oxford, heck, that's 14, 15 miles, 17 miles, something like that. From where I saw him. He lived over on the south side, Moffett Street or something like that. He ended it with me. He said, Billy, he says, I'm going to have to end sparring with you. He says, I says, why's that? He says, I haven't been able to eat My jaw has been so bad. Sparring with you, my jaw is so bad I can't even eat. So I can't do that no more. So like he was like 10 years older than me, and I was 23, 20, 22, 23. All right, and so he's 10 years old. He was 33. Well, he would have been in his prime, really, as a professional, and he was professional, but he couldn't hit as hard as me, and I never really gave it to him because I could have got really mad at him and got into the first round and pounded him in the ground. I could have, because I hurt when I hit. He wouldn't be able to stand up to it with regular boxing gloves on. I never fought him like that. It was always headgear and big, heavy mitts. And I fought him in front of college students one time in a get-together for athletes at the university, SUNY. I fought Tommy Holmes at SUNY. And we had a bloody battle, man. At the end of it, I mean, he really went to town on me, harder than he ever did. And he was all psyched up because he was the guard. I didn't realize that he was the policeman, the campus police officer for that place. And somehow it was arranged for him so everybody could see how tough he was. And so they got Bill Nixon, the Golden Gloves champion, to come in. Tommy to kick his ass. And it was a fight, tell you. It was a fight. And he was still ready to go another 5 rounds. He was in top shape, Tommy Holmes. He's one of the best, I think, one of the best fighters to come out of Binghamton, staying in shape-wise all of his life. Heck, the guy was running to 20 miles, 20-mile runs. And he was well into his 50s. You know, he lived to be in his 80s. I saw him, he was a little old man. You know, he wasn't shaken like with Parkinson's or anything. He was in pretty good shape. The last time I saw him, his weight was down on him. He didn't even recognize me. He said, "You're Bill Nixon?" Because I was 358 pounds. He didn't recognize me. "You're not Bill Nixon." He goes, because I was like a monster to him. He looked at me. Oh, I hope he don't remember how I kicked his ass in front of all them college kids. He could put me in a hospital right now if he wanted to. And I just looked at him and smiled. You know, I had Tommy, how you doing? And we had some good times, didn't we? And my Uncle Dick was the same thing with Tommy. In his day, my Uncle Dick and Tommy were the same age. Because my Uncle Dick just died. He was in his 90s. And Tommy Holmes died in 84, when he was 84. And he was the same age as my Uncle Dick. And he died, and he was 90, I think. Yeah, 90. So, I don't know how you figure out how old he was. He was 84, he was the same age. 90, so 6 years onto that. Oh, God. 6 years ago he died. Tommy Holmes. And I saw him sitting in a price chopper market. And I walked up to him. I said, "Hey, you stay in shape. You remember what I told you?" I says, "Tommy, don't get out of shape, because if you do, I'm going to kick your ass." And he was out there. I didn't realize maybe he was touched in the head a little bit from being a fighter, you know. Maybe he got hit too many times, because he was easy to hit. But he could take it. And, you know, in his old age, you know, maybe he got a little dementia. I think so, maybe. But he didn't recognize me, even though I told him who I was and all that. He didn't recognize me. Now, you ain't Bill Nixon. Yeah, because he was used to 160-pound Bill Nixon, not a 360-pound Bill Nixon. Oh my God, it was 358, 360, right around there. Now I'm down to 276. Okay. And 6 months ago, I was down to 198. But I got this long COVID come on. I've been laying around trying to heal my cough. I get coughing spells. I've got some puffer coming in the mail. Hopefully it comes today because I'm running low on it. And I get coughing spells. I gotta have it. You know, it's like asthma. I got asthma. Long COVID is like asthma. In the lungs. If you suffering from the long COVID, lungs, you cough, you get spells like you have asthma. You see people who have asthma, they get a coughing spell. Well, that's what you get, I think, if you get pneumonia. After you have long COVID, after you have COVID. I had COVID for 15 days. I got it on the 24th November. Oh, God. And I was delivered on the 8th of December, the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. And I wear that medal. I wear the miraculous medal, the Blessed Mother. She says, I will not be harmed. There'll be many that'll die all around me, but I won't be harmed. And she says that to everybody who wears that medal. I was thinking, I wonder if bishops, and priests and stuff, do they wear that medal? They kind of like tend to stay away from anything, jewelry or medals or, like me, I walk around with a crucifix and I have 3 medals on here. One's Michael, the Archangel medal, and the other one is the Blessed Mother, and a miraculous medal. And those are the two, and then the other ones, and then the third one is, who was that? St. Mummy Call? And Blessed Mother. Oh, the third one is the Rosary. I have 3 on my. Let me see if I can get back. Yeah, I have 3. I have the crucifix, and then I have my scapular, my brown scapular. That's what's wrapped around my crucifix, which is wrapped around my neck. It's all one. My scapular and my crucifix. And then I have my rosary. That's a rosary bead. You put it on your finger. It has 10 Hail Marys and 1 Our Father. That's a decade. You can do 5 of these to make a whole rosary. And then I have miraculous medal and the medal to St. Michael. Yeah, here they are. There's miraculous medal. And then here's the medal of St. Michael. And then my rosary, my machine gun. Hail Mary, Hail Mary. I can do 10 real quick. Hail Mary, full of grace, Lord, you blessed art thou among women, blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for sinners now and at the hour of death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, Lord, you blessed art thou among women, blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for sinners now and at the hour of death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you, blessed art thou among women, blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for sinners now and at the hour of death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you, blessed art thou among women, blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for sinners now and at the hour of death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you, blessed art thou among women, blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary,
fruit, lime, and cheese. Holy apple. God, pray for sinners now. I just machine gun the demons with the rosary. When your demons come around, you got your machine gun with you, and he's making you think demonic. You machine gun him with the rosary, and they'll run screaming like there's a face full of hornets stay in their face when you machine gun them with the rosary. It shoots so many. It's like fine daggers, like when you go to a porcupine and he goes, and it all just flies in your face. Right there. When you come up against a demon, that's what you do right there, people. Machine gun them with the rosary. That's how you overcome the devil. The Blessed Mother. Yeah. You want to make a memory of her with her son in her arms dead? She's looking at life. Look what she did to my son. And she's the queen of heaven, people. And she still loves us. She's our mother, the mother of the soul that God gave us. Boy, they itch. They go right up your nose unexpectedly. Sometimes, because I don't groom. But when I look at myself, it makes me want to groom. What the heck am I looking like this for? When I could look debonair. I used to look debonair until I lost my teeth. I got a dentist appointment. Everything is fixed on this side. It's all my teeth. All the cavities and everything, everything is fixed. This side's done. Now I got to do this side. And I need a tooth. But I got a stub. See, they didn't pull the tooth out. It's missing, but it broke off. So the surgeon looked at it. He says, yeah, that's still rooted in there pretty good. They can attach to that. You can have a cap put on that. That way, still get your tooth and everything. They're capped. And you can't tell. It's like, I do have a cap. Right here. It's a bridge. It goes from one tooth to the other, and in the center is the tooth. And you can clean around it and under it and everything else. I've had that there since I was in my 20s. Yeah, it lasts a long time like that. So I'm looking forward to getting this tooth. It's right here. The root's right there. I hit that watch. You can hear it. Hear it. The root and everything is right there. The tooth just busted off. We can't figure it out. I think it's Agent Orange. Something that you get old and brittle on Agent Orange. So you're going to find all this stuff out about Agent Orange after we're all dead. Because they're not going to tell us right now. This is what happened to you from the war. They just granted me back. They took it and then they granted me it back. I had 100% at the beginning. I got home from Vietnam, man. I almost got my head blown off over there. by a crazy man, friendly fire. He was mad because I was sleeping in his bunk, and we were up the Saigon River, it's 110 degrees out, and he's on watch, and then he comes back off a watch. You got to get in his bunk, but you've been sleeping there for 4 hours. You got to go on watch now. But you sweat. So he gets off watch, he gets back down in his bunk. They don't give you sheets or anything to put in a man's bunk, because we all had to share. When you weren't in your bunk, somebody was sleeping in your bunk. Because there were 75 bunks and 157 guys. And some of them are real tired, Especially when you do your job. My job in Rocket 1 was to put out the rockets with a fire extinguisher. When they didn't take off and they spun around on the deck, I had to go over and make sure everything that they spun around and everything was catching on fire hose on fire. I had to put the fire on the fire hose because the stuff that comes out of them rockets is like a blowtorch. And it's like spitting and sputting, whatever it is. And it's just sitting there and it's hissing and spitting. And you're thinking, is it going to explode? Oh, shit. Your heart's in your throat. You know what I mean? It's spinning around on the deck like this, around. And these things are like 3 feet long and 10 inches in diameter. Because they go 6 miles, with all that stuff that's coming out of them. Those rockets go 6 miles and then they to their target. And it wasn't 6 miles, I'm saying, but they have a range up to 6 miles. But we just blew everything apart within a couple miles. It's like 16 rockets every 3 seconds. And then 16 rockets, 3 seconds. Then 16 more. 1, 2, 3. Then 16 more. 1, 2, 3. Then 16 more. That's what we could do. But we didn't do that. We did it on one half of the ship. We turned broadside, and we had 4 launchers on each side of the ship, and 2 rockets to each launcher. So we had 8 taken off every 3 seconds. Well, we had guys down underneath, 157 guys, all had a station to pass the rockets from the tube down the line. Everybody had to stand in line. You grab it, the next guy, you give it to the next guy. Then you go back, you grab another one, you go back, you grab it, the next guy, and that's going on an elevator, and it's going up the tube, up to the two tubes, and they're up straight up in the air, and then they go, and they go, and then 2 rockets go in, and then they go, every 3 seconds. I was just trying to show you what it would look like if you were watching them. So you can see both of them. I'll make them so they're like that, right? So they go, you're in rocket 1, right? And so you go over and you got an elevator underneath these rocket launchers. They're on the top of the deck. And so these rocket launchers are on a swivel. They're on a swivel. So once they're in focus on where they're got to go, the boat moves up and down, but the rockets stay right on target. See? That's how it works. And it's that's as close as I can come to what it sounds like. And when all 4 of them are going, it's and they just take right off. All you can see if you're like a mile away and you look at our ship and we're letting off the rockets, it's just a puff of smoke. You can see a puff of smoke and then all these rockets taking off towards their target. And when they hit, they go boom, 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 kaboom! Okay, we got the target. We got the ammo dump. Okay.
and there's a great big, like, mushroom cloud, black, dark black, comes up from the ammo dump you just blew up. VC, Viet Cong, little rats. Some they had different divisions. The rat division lived underground in caves, dirt caves. During the day, it's 60 degrees underground, but during the night, they come out and rape and steal and murder, and then run back to their caves, and nobody knows where they are. So we do find some caves, finally, with dogs and all that. So who goes into the cave? The smallest guy in the outfit. Who's 4'9"? Usually the little guys, they're in the Marines. They're 4'9". They're brassy, man. You don't want to mess with them. They'll be all over you. They'll bite your face and everything. Yeah, they're mean little guys. 4'9"ers. 4'10", 11, right around there. Mean little guys, especially if they're Irish. If they're Irish, oh man, there's no mercy on you. They'll kick your face right in. Yeah, you don't mess with an Irishman, especially if he's drunk. So anyways, how's my acting so far, people? I'm an unknown actor. I'm the Hallelujah Blues Man, a.k.a. Allegheny Bullfrog. I'm an Allegheny Bullfrog, and I like native trout, so I like the mountain streams. They give me pleasant dreams as I'm walking them, fishing for a native trout. Oh, that's such a great time, people. I should tell you how I do it, but I'm not gonna. I have in other films. Check my films out. I'm an Allegheny country boy, and hunting and fishing is my joy. I like them good old mountain streams. They help me think, and they give me pleasant dreams. I dream about getting a brookie. Whole bunch of them. I usually get about 15 of them, and I bring them down in a bucket, and I sort them out. I take my limit, and I let the rest go back in. And that's how I do it. I usually take the biggest ones, because they're only about 6 inches. 6, 7. A big one would be 8. That would be a rainbow brookie or something like that. 8, 10, 12. I caught 2 12-inchers once in front of a friend of mine on a purple martin. And I used to use a little tiger. Oh, I kill them with a little tiger with a 4-pound test line, 2-pound test, but 4-pound resistant, a 2-pound test line, but it has 4 ply strength. And you tie your lure onto that. And I with a little teeny swivel light, so it doesn't tangle the line up. Now, if you really want the action to be really good, don't put a swivel on. But you'll have to change your line after you go fishing, because there's nothing. Your line's going like that. It tightens right up, and your spool, unless you take and stretch it out or something, maybe you don't have to change it. Stretch it out and reel it back in.
But when you reel in a lure and it doesn't have a swivel on it, and it's going through the water like this, and you're going like this through the water, that line, you don't realize that every time you cast it, then roll it back in, that line's twisted. And you're throwing it out and you're reeling it back in, that line twists up a little bit more. So by the time you've thrown it maybe 25, 30 times, right? There's a big ball like my beard on your swivel because you've gone like that without a swivel. But the lure goes like this. Oh, it dances like you wouldn't believe. The 1/8 ounce little tiger. Now you can get big bass with the bigger one, the 1/4 ounce. You can go bass fishing with that. And you can get some big bass with that one. But Brookie's sable forks, I cleaned them out up there with this little lure, little tiger lure. And it was swift water, too, where I was at. Real swift. And I threw it out there. There was brookies all over the place. They must stock it or something. But they were all over the place. I got my limit. And I don't know. I had 7 of them. And I moved on or something like that. I don't remember. I got tired of catching them. Because that's not, so I got 7, but how many got off? I had them almost in and they got off, you know. I had a good time there on Sable Forks. Brookies, brook trout. Yeah, little ones too. Like they're only 10 inches or something like that. Yeah. So I have to go back to that place someday. That was a good time up there. I have all these dreams, that I want to do, but now you're old, you could do it. If I could fly,